Have I made fun of that tier 1 list in chat, TL list already? We already done it, don't worry. Don't worry about the tier list. Don't worry about it. It's just some guy's opinion. Don't have to, it's fine. There we go. All right, here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into our semi-finals, by the way. Okay, now we can focus. We can focus on the game at hand. And not just that, we can also focus on predictions. If you're in the chat, you can get your gamba going, Bobby. You can get your gamba going in the chat. Place your bets on how you think this semi-finals is going to go. As first, we'll get into our introductions. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Hardled, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Dragon KaiZ Gaming. It is herO, the best Protoss in the world. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And one moment here as we just settle into things. And I get the predictions going. Here we go. Okay, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think is going to take this. You have a couple of minutes. You have a couple of minutes upon hearing this message. And as a reminder, it is a best of 3. Best of 3, not a best of 5. Predictions open. There we go. Just letting you guys know. Predictions are open. And now we are settling into our first semifinals. A very different matchup. We did cast ByuN versus herO recently. I think it was last week. And ByuN had his way with herO. I'll be honest. Like, ByuN, he was popping off and he was going for these. He was getting some mine shots in the face of herO in his mineral line. He was able to pull him apart. A very aggressive style out of ByuN. We'll see what he goes for this time. It is a single gas opener. Single gas opener out of ByuN. It is going to be a Rax expand into his factory. So economic opener in general, but a very safe opener as he has opted to throw down the CC on the high ground. So he won't be disrupted and delayed on the low ground. So economic and safe opener here out of ByuN. Meanwhile, across the map, we do see herO getting into his own build of choice. Is going to be opening up Gate Expand, or Gate Cyber Expand. Stalker has arrived, getting to our Sentry follow-up. Again, this has become a little bit more of a popular opener here from the side of Protoss. Getting to a faster Sentry does give you a lot of scouting information early on. And against ByuN, I feel like this is paramount. It's like, you need to get a read on what exactly he's up to, because ByuN can be very chaotic here in this matchup. And we have our tech of choice, Twilight Council. It's going to be a Twilight Council opener here out of herO. Reaper is going to be dipping in. Tries to at least, but does dip away. So far, herO, he does catch the Reaper, getting some extra hits in. Autobus does shut it down. Big pick off there. ByuN, a bit of miscontrol, did fly too close to the sun, and he got burned. He got shut down, and with that, ByuN has no idea whether it's a Robo, a Stargate, or a Twilight Council opener. ByuN is in the dark. Doesn't know what's going on. And behind this, we do see ByuN getting into his 1-1-1 follow-up. Interesting. He's going for a Hellion drop. Or I should say, he's setting up for some drop play here with Marine Hellion. We can see Marines in the medevac to head towards the main, and we can see Hellions try to bust in towards the natural. Regardless, the goal here is to get economic damage done. Hallucination Scout comes in. And we do get eyes on the Hellions. Additional Hellions. That's a big tell. We also saw the reactor on the racks, so hero's seen everything. He's seen everything. He knows everything. He's getting ready back at home. Yeah, he's walling off. So in the early game in PvT, as a Protoss player, you have very few units. You have very few units. So upon seeing all the Hellions, we have a full wall off, knowing we can leave the bare minimum at the natural to defend, and we have our army here in the main. And yeah, the drop is deflected. So again, if herO hadn't scouted, then the wall doesn't get up and running. Hellions, they break in, they wreak havoc, they force the Stalkers down to the low ground, and then the drop busts into the main. So far, a good defense out of herO. Behind this, the drop is going to be slipping into the main base as well, but we do get eyes on it. There is a shield battery in position, and herO does defend, but the drop just scouted. And for the first time, we saw the tech, Twilight Council. Twilight Council, Blink-based opener here from herO. ByuN is now aware. Behind this, he's settling into his own 2-1-1 setup, soon to be a 3-1-1 setup. Early tank production as well makes sense, just because he's unaware of the gateway count. It could be 4-gate blink for all he knows. We can see there's a third. So just 2-gate blink here from herO. 2-gate blink into a third, a very safe, very economic opener. Basically, herO is going to be lacking a lot of map control. He has a couple of units that he can fan out, possibly, but outside of that, herO is looking towards the mid game. Likewise, so is ByuN, as ByuN throws down a third CC. Hallucination Scout comes in, and herO, he will get eyes on the third base. It is hidden here in between the bases, but herO does see, he does know. Upon seeing this third base, herO should be feeling pretty confident and pretty safe. As I say that, ByuN is pushing. He did retain his Marines. Remember, he built up a heavy Marine count early on, and he did not throw them away. Oh, the medevac! Ooh, medevac goes down. Big pick off. Medevac does fall. ByuN, he's rocking up at the third base. His goal here is to force a cancel. And the tanks, they're getting within range. Shield battery is done. Tanks, though, they do siege. Yeah, they force a cancel on the shield battery. Overcharge is popped. We pull the boys. And with the help of the Immortal, we should clean this up. We should defend. Yeah, herO, he's going to shut this down. Does lose workers in the process. But he can focus down every single tank. At the same time, though, the Hellions. Oh, sorry, Hellions? Liberator. Liberator gets into the main. Gets 5 probe kills. So 4 boys died here as they were being pulled, and 5 go down to the site, to the cycling? To the Liberator. Good damage dealt by ByuN. So he may not have broken the third, and he may have lost all of his tanks, but he does get 9 probes. So it was not all for... It wasn't all for naught. With that, the game is going to be selling. Remember, ByuN, he was going for a third CC, and it's getting up and running. Soon to be on location. Building up on 2 bases, getting into his Raxes. Be able to get a couple of probe kills here at the natural. This is what, 8 probe kills? Jesus, that's a lot of damage for the Lib. Can I get another? He cannot. ByuN, he does get shut down. Scans the base, does get eyes on the army, on the composition, the Immortals, the Sentries. We do have Colossus production underway here for herO. Just settling on 3 bases and an interesting 4th base location. Okay, so typically you would take the triangular third, just because it also protects your main base from drop play, or it deters drop play. Or you would take the forward, you'll take the forward 4th base if you want to be aggressive, but no, we expand over towards left-hand side. On the one hand, it's very out of the way, so maybe it goes by unscouted, but it is very vulnerable. It's very isolated. I am worried for herO and whether or not he can save this base, as he's going to be spreading himself very thin here between his main base and his 4th. The other added advantage if he took the center base is that you can kind of blink back and forth between your 4th and your main. So a risky move here from herO. But if it works out, then his 5th base is going to be more secure. Like, if we're thinking further ahead, your 5th base is going to be so much safer than it otherwise would be. And so far, the base has gone unscouted. Back at home, we do see ByuN continuing tank production, not something you see too often, but he's going for a very tank-heavy style. Getting into Vikings for the Colossi, of course. Continuing his bio. Has he thrown down a Ghost Academy? Not yet. No Ghost Academy yet. We're getting there. As herO is just settling in. Here we go. We do see ByuN pushing. Sorry, I was a little bit distracted by the chat, but the tanks. Oh my god, we have so many of them. I was just distracted trying to catch up with the chat. We do have 5 tanks here for ByuN. A pretty committed push. He's gonna be pulling the boys as well. Oh my god, he pulls the boys at his 3rd base. He is just going for a big 3-base all-in. I was caught off guard. I was not quite expecting this, but he is gonna be committed. We have 6 Vikings pushing on 4. The base is gonna be denied. Upon seeing the boys, herO. Time is on his side. He just has to cancel the 5th base, backs off. Remember, herO already has a 4th. It's already up and running. Gets so unsteady here for herO. Picks away at the Vikings. Collapses on the tanks. Big tank volleys going off. do get 2 of them. We do shut down 2 of those tanks. The overcharge putting in a lot of work, keeping the Colossi alive. So far, good defense here by herO. And again, it's all or nothing here by ByuN. He has to keep going. He has to keep pushing. Vikings, they take down another Colossi. There's only 1 left. It's being targeted down. But the ground army is too much. herO, he swallows up the tanks. He will defend. He will clean this up. GG gets called. And herO takes game number 1. Whew, GG. An interesting 3-base all-in out of ByuN there. Again, the center base didn't really matter too much. Because herO had expanded on the left-hand side, it was a base that was safe and sound. So he had the economy on his side in the end. And he was able to slow down that army. Again, 3-base all-ins aren't really seen too often in this matchup. I'll be honest. I was caught off guard by that, and ByuN just unable to pull it off. I do apologize for being a little bit distracted as the all-in was starting. Sorry, just catching up with the chat. I think some people are asking about me being frozen. Again, I'm not frozen, Papi. I'm not frozen. But hopefully there's no lag. Hopefully there is no lag. I don't have a webcam. I'm here traveling abroad in the land of Poland, but I'm actually returning to Australia in a couple of days. Fun fact, I'm coming back to Australia in a couple of days. In 2 days, actually. Tomorrow is going to be my last day here in Poland, and then I'll be back. And when I do get back to Australia, then I will have a webcam. Then I'm going to have to put on some clothes. I'm going to be on cam again after like 2 months or a month and a half. It's been a while. It's been a long time. But I do miss my setup, and I do look forward to casting from back home again. And yeah, that is going to mean that I'm going to be using my regular microphone, so my voice is going to go back to what it was, as I'm using a different mic right now. I'm going to have my webcam. I'm going to have my green screen back. Oh, it's going to be beautiful. And just for the people that like it, and for the people that are going to miss it, I'll try and make that face as often as I can on cams. I'll try and pull it off, Papi. Regardless, here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, surviving the 3-base all-in as ByuN pulled the boys and was unable to break him. We have the best Protoss in the world. We have the red Protoss player representing CranKy Gaming. It is herO. Unomas 1 game away from advancing on, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. We go. So we are settling in, but I'll focus on the game, Papi. I'll focus on the game. Won't get distracted. I just saw some people like talking about it, so I was like, so I felt like I had to respond to as to why I'm using a screenshot instead of a proper camera there. I mean, technically, I do have a cam on I'm casting from a laptop. I do have a camera inbuilt on the laptop. And fun fact, day 1 that I was here, I was trying to set up with it, but it's not good. It's not. I do have a cam on the laptop, the inbuilt one. It's not very good. It's especially because obviously the downside of that kind of camera is that because it's built into the monitor of the laptop. Like, I can't adjust it. I can't lift it up and down. I have to like move the laptop like lid, and it's not good. So not ideal for like production or for casting sort of thing. I guess it's fine for like a call, like a Skype call or like a Zoom call, but yeah, that's as to why I'm not using a webcam. But yeah, tomorrow's going to be my last day here. Tomorrow's going to be my last day casting in Poland. So exciting times. I say exciting. It's going to be a long trip. It's going to be a 30-hour trip. So I do look forward to it. As once again, economic opener. ByuN going for a Rax Expand. Single gas opener here out of ByuN. With this opener, if you remember, it's the same opener as game 1, except, oh my, he's going for a 3rd CC. Let's go. I was going to say it's the same opener, except this time it's the CC on location, and he's going for a 3rd CC before Rax. This is a build that ByuN has been flexing on a couple of maps. I was about to say specifically on Alkione. For the reason for this, as Zell gets across the map and is going to be shut down. But the reason for this is because this map is large. It's a very large map, a lot of bases to be taken, a longer rush distance by ground, very defendable on 3 and 4 bases, so you can be greedy on Alkione. And ByuN has been doing this against Zerg players. He beat Raynor with this build. Maru did an adaptation of this against Raynor as well at IEM. And ByuN recently did this. I think it was on site Delta, if I remember correctly. And I remember freaking out because I was like, mate, like, it is not safe to do this on some of these other maps. On Alkyone, it is. A little bit safer is maybe a better way of putting it. So a very greedy build here out of ByuN. herO going to be picking away at those Marines, shaving off a couple of them. And our tech of choice is not a Twilight Council, it's not a Stargate, it is a Robo Opener. So I think I like ByuN's position better. So a Robo Opener means fast Colossus. As you can see, the bay has been thrown down. And this is a hard counter to 3 Raxes. And it is going to be a 3 Rax variation, true, but it's 3 Rax 3 CC. So even though we're going to get a high Colossus count, actually we're going for a Prism first to be a little bit more assertive and a little bit more aggressive. But even though we're going to have fast Colossi, ByuN's going to be defending back at home, and we'll see if herO can make use of that timing. Make use of the timing of the first and second Colossi. The downside as well is that herO has very little map control because he has no Blink Stalkers and no Phoenixes. The reason why Phoenix openers and Blink Stalker openers are so commonplace is because they allow you to shut down drop play. There are different ways and different avenues of gaining map control, shutting down medevac drops, Raven harass, liberators of the sort, and even counterattacking and harassing across the map. herO, he's going disrupt. Never mind. Okay, disruptor first here out of herO. The observer comes in, he sees the 3rd CC, and we're going for some disruptor drops. Oh my god, this is more unorthodox. You rarely see this in this matchup. Disruptor drop openers are mainly seen against Zerg players. Against Zerg, that is a lot more commonplace. Against Terran, less so. So it's going to be 1 disruptor into Colossi. Okay. War Prison speed is being researched. herO, he's moving out across the map. This is very high risk, high reward. I like this adaptation. Basically, as soon as herO saw the opener, he's like, I have to harass. I have to do something about the economy of ByuN. True, right? He does have to do something because ByuN is being so greedy. But the Nova, it's all about your opponent messing up. And here we go, Nova goes off. 2 SCVs. 2 SCVs go down. That's an okay amount of damage. And what's important is that the Prism is still alive. We get a free scout of the main. But no game-ending damage, no devastating damage done yet. As we're trying to go for another Nova, but we won't be able to get it. ByuN diving in with those Marines. Gets another shot off in the main base. 4 SCVs, 6 in total. Much better. 6 worker kills, and herO backs off. And again, this is a really good way to kind of deviate away from your standard Robo Opener and do some harassing damage when you realize how greedy your opponent is. So really nice fluid play here out of herO. I really do appreciate it. Oh god! Really do appreciate this. herO has to back off. Stim is done. He's playing with fire right now. He cannot afford to lose this. Never goes off. Gets 1 more SCV. That's 7 workers in total. And behind this, herO is taking a 3rd. His 3rd base is getting up and running. Upon seeing the fast 3rd of his opponent, he knows he can expand. He knows that ByuN is stuck at home. herO is still sharking around. Again, building up the Immortals, building up the Colossi. Never up. Gets 2 more Marines, but the Vikings have arrived, and we should be recalling back home. Well, I think with War Prison speed, yeah, we can outrange them. We can outpace the Vikings. herO will get the hell out of there. Racing back home. His 3rd base fully saturated, mineral-wise at least. Now he's coming together with his entire army. He's got a Colossi, he's got an Immortal. A lot of force fields are available as well. And herO, he just saw the 3rd base landing. Can he deny it? Can he punish this 3rd? I'm loving the hallucinated Colossi. The scan reveals it though. He knows. Yeah, boys are being pulled. There's 1 tank in position. Nova goes off, takes down the tank. Big pick off. Good force fields as well. SCVs are falling one after the other as 7 SCVs go down. And what did herO really lose there? Gateway units. He lost a Zealot, 3 Sentries, and 4 Stalkers. Good attack here from herO. Good trade. Dealing a blow to the economy and the army of ByuN. Behind this, he takes a 4th. Taking another base. herO doing a great job at punishing the greedy build here of ByuN. And ByuN, meanwhile, he's settling in. Still has a good worker count because of his opener. May have lost a lot of SCVs, but he still has plenty to work with. As ByuN is going to be building up his tank count. He's going to be stuck here, at least until he builds up that tank count a little bit higher. Getting up towards 2, soon to be 3 tanks. herO repositioning. Once again, going for the drop into the natural, but he does get zoned away. Does get zoned away here. And here he will retreat. He will back off behind this, setting up for a 5th, or at least a spotted pylon, just to make sure we're safe and sound. Yeah, pylons being thrown down outside the 4th. Disruptor production continuing here for herO. And this army, it's becoming quite impressive. herO, he's building up quite heavily. ByuN behind this 4th CC. With the revelation of this 4th, looks like ByuN is taking a more defensive stance. He's just turtling up here on 3 bases, getting a 4th, taking up into an armory in 2-2, taking up towards a Ghost Academy. ByuN gonna stim on forward, but he can't quite push out. Again, ByuN is contained. And pushing into disruptors is not gonna be easy. As herO gets baited into the blink. A good chunk of stalkers go down. That was not it. Not what herO was hoping for. Not ready for those tanks. Never goes off. Presenting back the army. Again, herO, we're fighting on a knife's edge right now. I don't think we need to be here, but he wants to deny the 4th. He wants the 4th base. Nova goes off. We get the tank. But the ByuN army sims on forward. There's only 1 Colossi. Force feels A by some time, but we can chase this army down. herO, he's caught with his pants down. Not where he wants to be. Not the fight that he's really looking for. The Zealots are going to be going down. He does save his disruptors at least. But we got to get out of here. We need to leave. Like, again, this was a very, very shaky fight here for herO. He got a tank, but did bleed out a lot of units. He will back off. Again, I'm pretty sure he wanted to deny the 4th, because the 4th was still building. He was trying to deny the CC. Didn't get it, though. A little bit greedy there at a herO. It walks within tank range. Behind this 2nd robo. 3rd robo's on the way. Now, because he lost his Colossi, he's in a bit of trouble here. He needs those robos to get up and running. Collapsing on the army. We dive on top of the disruptors. We focus one down. There's only 1 left, and yeah, we sim on forward. We dive on this army, and it's going to be completely cleaned up. Zealots are wreaking havoc, though. Zealots are doing well for themselves. They clean up the tanks. We have more of a back and forth, but these were expensive losses for herO. Yeah, looking at the battle report here, herO, he lost 3 disruptors and 2 immortals. Hefty losses for the Protoss. Now, thankfully, herO has a good economy. He's got the gold. He has the 5th base, the gold base up and running, and he's getting into triple robo production to make 3 Colossi at a time and disruptors. So herO, he can stabilize, but a lot of the momentum that herO once had, a lot of the map control that herO had, isn't really there anymore. It's not really there anymore. ByuN is making a game out of this. He's breaking free. He's pushing out. This is still very neck and neck. Well, it's still up in the air. Maybe a better way to put it. As ByuN, he establishes his 4th. As herO is trying to get his sig. Again, the Protoss needs to be up a base. At least. I'm getting up to 2. Getting up 2 bases. Behind this herO working on +3. Committed to his robot production. He's not going into Storm. He's not going into Skytoss. But he is still needing to rebuild those disruptors. As he is down to 0 disruptors. There we go. The first one is now being rebuilt. He is on the way there. herO also throwing down some sort of pylons just to get eyes on any would-be 5th. And we're about to max out. Both players are about to max out. ByuN does have a 3-3 timing on the horizon. herO thinking about Skytoss. You can see here, Stargate is on the way, +1 air attack as well. I mean, the game, it's getting there. It's going that long. We're getting ready for the carriers, for the Skytoss. We're not there yet, though. We are not there yet. We do see herO rotating around. Does come across the Sensor Tower. Big EMPs on the army. Nova goes off, but again, we dive on top of the Disruptor. We shut it down. Second Nova does pop off as well. Decent connection on the Marauders. Decent connection there as herO is forced all the way back home. Bleeding out of the Colossi. He's down to 0 Disruptors. Again, without a high Disruptor count, we can't stop ByuN from pushing in. Yeah, and he will take down this core base. Does dive on it. herO gonna try to engage. Good positioning here by ByuN. Using the terrain to his advantage, reducing the surface area on those Zealots. The Colossi go down. And ByuN, can he clean this up? Do we have too much? herO. EMPs are okay. Here come the Disruptors. The frames are dropping. I do apologize. Frames are dropping. We focused on one of those medevacs. herO, he does hold. Oh my god, herO setting up a proxy pylon, taking another base, by the way. But again, I do apologize for the frames dropping there. Hold on, I'll try to fix that. We'll try to fix that. As herO, he is remaxing. Again, what herO is really relying on right now is his economy. He's remaxing with almost purely Zealots. He's spending his minerals. Novas are going off. Big connections. Yeah, big connections with the Novas. Sometimes one is all you need, and herO, he gets that he's going to deny this northern base. We're back into a high Disruptor count. And again, the economy of herO is booming. He can afford these losses. Novas go off. Good target firing, but a Nova connects. Big connection on ByuN, and herO, he's snowballing out of control. He breaks through the main army, gets on top of the Ghost. And this planetary also crumbles. GG gets caught. herO snowballs out of control, and he does take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to herO, as he does take the series, does advance on to the grand finals. My condolences to ByuN. This was a much closer game, and I do think that herO at times was a little bit too adventurous, was a little bit too cavalier with his army movement. But the reality is that herO, because of his map control, he had so many bases. Remember, I mentioned briefly how Protoss, they typically want to be upper base against the Terran. He was up 2 bases. He was working on a 6th as ByuN was taking a 4th. And he was getting a 7th, but at the time that ByuN was getting a 5th. Like, he had so much money to work with, even though some fights were going a bit awry for herO, which is true. Like, he was bleeding out quite a bit at times. He was able to remax. He was able to reproduce just with a quick warp in of Zealots, quick reinforcements of Disruptors, and he was able to keep the pressure up. ByuN needed more time. He needed more time to rebuild, a time that herO refused to give him. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to herO. He advances on to the grand finals, and who will he face off against? We still have to find out. We still do have to find out. Let's head on over to the brackets. !B.